The Equalizer 2 is directed by Antoine Fuqua once again and sees Denzel Washington reprising his role as Robert McCall, the ultimate badass who will take you down in a second, but he's more of the protector of the people now. He's sort of left those old days behind and he looks for people who he feels are wronged and tries to right it. He's a Lyft driver and sometimes his passengers are saying things that he doesn't like and he follows them and makes sure that things work out the way he thinks they should. But when someone that he cares for gets in harm's way, he finds himself back in the fray again. I enjoyed the first film. I thought it was alright. I haven't seen it since theaters. I didn't really feel like watching it again, but as a one-time watch, I thought it was pretty fun. And Denzel Washington, I mean, I can watch him do just about anything, to be honest. The man's a legend. And he proves that again in this film because he's easily the best part of it. There are scenes with him that might feel more familiar with any other actor, but he just takes them to another level. And I've been a fan of Antoine Fuqua for a long time. I think he's a fairly overlooked director, actually. I think he makes a lot of really good movies that sometimes critics don't really appreciate that much. His films are rarely pretentious. They're usually just really well-made, gritty dramas and sometimes action films like Training Day, The Magnificent Seven. With Equalizer 2, I think it's about the same as the first. I thought it was alright. I enjoyed it. It has some really good sequences. Denzel's amazing. There's a few scenes in particular that are actually quite great. One scene that's with Denzel and a young kid in the film named Miles, portrayed by Ashton Sanders from Moonlight, who was terrific in this film. There's a great scene between them after this confrontation that occurs in this house, where Denzel has kind of become a father figure to this young person who's an artist, but he has a hard time dealing with where he's from. Because where he's from, it's not normal to want to be an artist. It's you make money doing other things. And Denzel is there like saying like, no, you don't have to do that. And we've seen this in movies before. It's very similar to other friendships we've seen built in films where an older person is trying to keep a young person away from drugs or a life in crime or something like that. But there's just a powerful scene in this film that's basically like a mini lesson in acting from Denzel, and it's kind of worth the price of the ticket admission alone just for that scene. The action sequences are also very exciting, extremely brutal, very bloody. Denzel does some things in between the punches that I will remember forever. Just little moments that with these guys in a hotel. I don't even want to ruin it for you. It's such a little moment. I kind of want to talk about it, but I'm not going to. It's such a small thing he does in between the action that I loved. I wish the plotting, though, was as strong as the action and as strong as the acting, because it takes a long time for things to feel cohesive. We have this series of events that occurs in Brussels, and it takes forever to really feel like it has anything to do with the rest of the film. It's basically a lot of sequences where we see Denzel go up against people who are assholes, and he beats the shit out of them, which can be really entertaining, but it just takes a long time to feel like the film is progressing somewhere. And I think it makes a bit of a mistake when it tries to add other families and other people that Denzel is helping and actually makes it an important through line to the story. There's an older person who's looking for a painting, and it had some, again, really good acting. This actor who portrays this older man, his name is Orson Bean. He was incredible, but that whole storyline just sort of sunk underneath the rest of the film. And I love the setup for the big finale, but the last confrontation I thought was kind of weak. It felt very stunt double heavy, which was a bit of a disappointment. Overall, I think this movie is about as enjoyable as the first for myself. One thing that I think is definitely stronger here is both films have a relationship between Robert McCall and a younger person he's trying to help. In the first film, it was a character named Terry, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, and here it's Miles by Ashton Sanders. And I loved that storyline in this film, and I thought it was much stronger than the Chloe Grace Moretz one in the first. And so that specific aspect of Equalizer 2 is better, and there are some really good sequences with some terrific dialogue. It's really the plotting that's the biggest issue here. It takes a long time for the film to feel like it's going somewhere, but with Denzel's magnetic acting, the brutally violent action sequences, and Antoine Fuqua's gritty direction, there's a lot to like here, but I don't think it's going to be particularly memorable for most action fans, although I could recommend a one-time watch for sure. I'm going to give Equalizer 2 a B-. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.